Hello, Brent Haynes with Wood Sound Flutes. I have some signature flutes I want to share with you today. I just have two of the signature flutes I'm going to talk about today. This flute in my hand is a Robert Mirabal signature flute. And then the other flute that I'll be sharing with you is a Jeff Ball signature flute. And both of these flutes have been ordered by clients. That's why I have them right now to share with you. We also make a signature flute for Steve Rushing Wind out of Redwood Burl, and it's fabulous. It's a very beautiful instrument. I wish I had one available to show you right now. Steve makes some beautiful music, and I love what he's doing. And so anyways, I wish I had that. We'll have one of those perhaps in the next newsletter we can share with you. But at any rate, this mid-F sharp is made out of cottonwood. The Robert Mirabal signature flutes are all made from cottonwood that Robert and I cut down at his house in 2006. I think it was actually, if I remember right, it was January 6th of 2006 that we cut this wood down. And it was a big tree out behind his house. It was like maybe 2.5 feet in diameter at the base. Had this huge limb up on the top that was going to pull the tree right across the river, Robert thought, and so he didn't want to cut it down because he was really worried about where the tree was going to fall. And so we got talking, and we were talking about signature flutes and all that, and we got talking. He says, well, I got this cottonwood tree out in my backyard that I want to cut down. He says, why don't we make flutes from that? We'll go cut it down and make flutes. And I said, well, you have a chainsaw? And he's like, yeah, let's go do it. So we go out there, we grab his chainsaw, he fires that thing up, and then he hands it to me. I'm like, dude, you're not cutting it down? He's like, here, you go cut it. And oh man, I was not comfortable. It was a huge tree. And so we cut this great big slice out of the tree to try and get it to fall the other direction from where the big branch was hanging out. You know, I'm great with working wood, but I am not a lumberjack. That's the truth. And man, it was funny. So I cut that great big crack out of it. It was on the opposite side of that great big limb. We were hoping it would be enough to carry the tree over. And I started coming in from the other side, expecting the tree to go this direction. And I started cutting in, and after a little bit, all of a sudden, the saw blade bound up. And I couldn't move it out, and I knew the tree was coming down. I just didn't know what direction it was going to fall, right? It was not going in the direction it was supposed to. And so I turned around and just started running. And I could hear it falling behind me. Boom, crash, boom, boom. As the branches were being broken off by other trees around it. I heard this boom, and I jump across this little ditch that separated where the tree was from where Mirabal's house was. I jump across and I hear this boom right behind me. And I thought the tree was falling on me. I really did. I turn around and I look, and the tree had fallen right alongside the river. And so it was really funny. It fell absolutely in the opposite direction of how we wanted it to go, but it didn't block the river, which is what Robert was really worried about. And up above, my wife and Dawn were just laughing. They thought it was so funny seeing me run from a tree that was falling a different direction. But anyways, that's where this cottonwood comes from. And every time I think about it, I think about that experience of cutting that tree down. The tree was dead where it was standing. That's why Robert wanted to bring it down. And so we've been having a lot of fun with it since. I don't use the wood for anything really but making these signature flutes for Robert now. And so when I'm out of the wood, I guess we'll be done making these signature flutes. I don't know how much I have left, but maybe 15 or 20 sticks or something like that. But the signature flute has got some turquoise on it, and this particular one has a little bit of coral inlay. All of them have this end cap like this. This is Eastern red cedar. These cedar trees are what they have down there in Taos, and we call it Eastern red, but it's really the same as Rocky Mountain juniper, which is what grows down there in Taos. And then it has this Pueblo steps cut into the end cap, which I just think is awesome. I think this was Robert's idea. He thought that'd be really cool. And then wanted some, little turquoise on the totem, and he really wanted this to represent the Taos Pueblo and I just experienced their New Year's celebration down there in Taos, with all the big bonfires and all this that they have on the Pueblo. It's closed to the public, and so it was a really incredible experience to be involved with. So it has this Pueblo design for the totem. Actually, is a Pueblo with the little vegas and everything, and then the juniper mouthpiece on it. And this again is in the key of F sharp. I suppose we could probably make these flutes in just about any key, so long as the wood's long enough. Amazing. Love that flute. Really excited for my client who's getting it. And this is flute number 12 of 15 of the Jeff Ball Signature Flutes. And so we only have 3 flutes available left in the Jeff Ball Signature series. The flute has a myrtle burl totem on it, has a little bit of myrtle burl inlay, has some abalone and turquoise, has a little citrine in the raven's mouth. This is Raven Steals a Sun, the story of Raven Steals a Sun. So the totem is a raven with the sun in its mouth, and then we have some raven feathers on it with a raven head on the end of the flute with the abalone eyes, and it's made out of curly maple, silver maple, and these are just a blast. I love these flutes. They're really amazing. Number 1 was also a mid-A, like this flute, and the client who bought this was in a class where my friend Frank Henniger was teaching, and Frank owns number 1 of the Jeff Ball Signature Flutes, and it's just an amazing instrument. And so she fell in love with it, you know, with Frank's, and so anyways, that's where this instrument came from. It's all hand painted and all that too. Wonderful, wonderful flutes. You know, I love being able to make these signature flutes for these performers, people who I love dearly. You know, Jeff Ball, Steve Rushing Wind, Robert Mirabal, Bill Miller. All of these guys are guys that I just I love their music. I love what they're doing, and really appreciate the association that I have with them. But all that said, what really gets me fired up is knowing that an ordinary person like myself can take one of my instruments and make music on it, and can find some peace and joy and happiness in the process of making that music. And that really gets me fired up. It brings me a lot of joy to be a part of the music that people make. So I love the Signature Flutes. I love what they represent. But more than anything, I love that you're involved in music, and I love that you're making some music on flutes that I make. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon.